Hey guys, it's Kate. Thank you so much for tuning in. In this speed bit, I'm building a mansion that is surrounded by a lake and it can be accessed by a bridge. It's super cool. I think it was a lot of fun to build this and I really like how it all turned out. I built this on a 64 by 64 lot in Windenburg, on the one that sits on the island. You can even see at the corner that this is the lot where I built lavender fields on. So it's a quite huge build, but the house itself, while it's big, is not extremely huge because I used a lot of the space for landscaping. At first I wasn't really sure what I would want to do landscaping wise, and I have to say that when I started building I really wanted to make sure to have enough space for the terrain tools and all that, because I kind of knew right away that I would want to build something that sits on a hill that has a open basement. When I started building I kind of thought, okay, maybe this lot is a little too big, but then I added the lake and all was good. As you can see here, I'm having some fun with the roofing. This was a little bit tricky. I built this out of different roof segments because I wanted to have some kind of balcony in the front. This was a little bit tricky, but it turned out fine. I then also adjusted the position of the chimney so it sits in the center. Unfortunately, when you're building a chimney like this, as you can see at the top of the roof, there is some kind of shadow going on, but I placed a chimney in front of this so it's not really visible, but this is a little bit annoying. I wish they could just fix this. I built this on a hill, as you can see, and I wanted to have an open basement, and if you want to do that you can simply start off by building the bottom part, the open basement part, then you just add the second floor and then you kind of just raise the terrain after that. I think that this is the most simple way to build this, I guess. And I really wanted to create something that looks a little bit dreamy and also like summer. My last build was a Christmas build, and I'm also planning to do some other Christmas builds, but I don't know, I just kind of felt like building something different. It's Christmas season and the whole house is decorated. Christmas is just everywhere. Every day it's just Christmas, Christmas all the time. So I kind of felt like doing something different, something fresh and nice. And I actually plan to build some type of like house like this for a while. I think the combination of using the terrain tools like this and having a cool lake and a bridge and all that is kind of fun. So I was kind of toying with this idea for a while now, and then I kind of thought, okay, why not? As you will see, I decided to add a bridge that leads from the front to the house. Before the terrain tool update and the foundation update, it wasn't really possible to build a proper bridge, but now luckily it is possible. The problem before the update was that when you're placing a foundation, you just couldn't delete the bottom part. So, I mean, in The Sims 3 you could just place some floor tiles and underneath there was just nothing, and you could create some type of bridge, but in The Sims 4 it wasn't really possible, but now it finally works, and you are going to see how I managed to build this. And if you are curious how you could do this yourself, I also made a tutorial about this in the past. I'm going to link the tutorial playlist down below. And I also want to say thank you so much. I got a lot of love for my last tutorial that I made about split level homes, about connecting rooms with different foundation heights, and thank you so much for all your love and all your nice comments, and for anyone who subscribed, and thank you to all of you in general, for anyone who's watching this. I'm just so grateful. I just love making these videos, and you guys just make this the best thing ever. Really, this is the best Christmas present for me. This is just so awesome. Talking about Christmas, I feel like this year I feel a little bit stressed out about Christmas. Usually this is not the case when people are talking about Christmas and they say that this is such a quite stressful season for them. I don't know, this time around I kind of also feel a bit stressed, and I don't know, I finally ordered all presents and all that stuff, but I don't know, just think I have to lay back, calm down and enjoy Christmas time. I have actually watched quite a few Christmas movies, some that I haven't seen before. I mean, there are so many Christmas movie classics, but this time around I just wanted to watch something that I didn't watch before. But I'm definitely also going to watch some classics, and as I said earlier, I'm also planning to do some more Christmas builds, at least one, because I was invited to join a wonderful Christmas collab. We are 6 simmers in total, and we are all going to build Christmas themed builds in granite forts. Each of us is going to build on one lot. I'm going to build on a 30 by 40 lot, and I'm really excited. I'm already thinking of what I could build, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you are interested in watching another Christmas build, then tune in on December 24. This is when we are all going to release the videos, and of course when the day has come, I'm also going to link down all the other videos of the collab down below so you can check them all out. On December 24 on Christmas Eve, I'm personally going to be in Christmas celebration mode already, because here in Germany December 24th is the most important day when it comes to Christmas, because this is when we are handing out all the presents and we are having dinner. We are also celebrating December 25 and December 26. This is kind of when Christmas peaks for us. Because we're not handing out presents on Christmas morning, it's different here. So when the video is going to be online, I'm already going to be in full on Christmas mode, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure I'm going to celebrate with my family and with my boyfriend, and I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your plans? Are you celebrating? If so, how are you celebrating? Personally, for us, Christmas is just really chill. Usually we are just spending a lot of time talking, hanging around, watching movies, and we are going to eat a lot of food. Traditionally, a lot of people here eat for Christmas some roast goose and some red cabbage, potatoes and gravy. And another tradition is to simply have some potato salad and wieners for Christmas Eve. This may sound a little bit weird for some people, but it's a tradition here. Many Germans have this, but those who have the potato salad on Christmas Eve usually have the roast goose or something else that is a little bit more complicated and extravagant than just salad the next day. So it's just kind of a Christmas Eve tradition. People aren't really sure why this has become a thing. Some people say that it's because it's just simple to prepare it, so there's a lot of stuff to do on Christmas Eve and the whole day, so you kind of can prepare it and then you just have it in the evening. It's simple and that's it. But I also heard that some people think that this has become a thing because people try to kind of sympathize with people who don't have that much, and it's a very simple, it's just salad, it's just potato salad and that's it. So it's not a table full of expensive, delicious food, it's just a simple, good salad. So it's kind of a way to sympathize with people who don't have that much for Christmas in general. But I have no idea if this is really where this tradition has come from, who knows. As you just saw, I built the bridge, and here I'm just adding a little bit of detail. These are decorations that are part of Get Famous, and I think you can use them for so many different things. These are just awesome. And I raised the terrain in the front and added a lot of rocks, and I had to cut out parts of this build. This just took so long to build, the placement of all the rocks and all that, so I kind of tried to keep it short and interesting, and the video is still like 20 minutes long, I think, but I just cut out some parts where I was placing the same thing over and over again. Here I'm just using the terrain paint tool to add a path at the bottom. I'm going to change the one on the left side up though, and I'm going to use the infamous base game debug brick to kind of frame the path at the edges. I'm going to size it up and use it, and here I'm just working on the back a little. I kind of kept the shape quite simple, and at the top, just instead of using a fence, I used the bench, the rock bench that is part of Auto Retreat at the bottom, just as some kind of fence. And here is the base game debug object. I'm cleaning up the edges a little bit, and I think this always looks super cute and suburban, and I just thought that it would go so well with this kind of look. I added a lot of columns. It almost low-key has some kind of timber framed look to it. I mean, not really, but a little bit. And I also used a lot of shelves at the edges just to have some more detail, just to make it look more complex and interesting. But I have to say the placement of the rocks was the most tedious thing, and at this point the lake isn't even really there, just in the front. I at first didn't even knew that I wanted to build a lake. I just built the house, and then I thought, hey, I had planned to build a kind of bridge for the longest time in a build, and I thought, okay, this would look so cool probably. I also used lots of different windows for this build. I combined some base game windows with some windows of get together and all that stuff, and here I'm adding another balcony, and this build just became bigger and bigger over time. And another patio. I have to say that this house has a lot of patio areas, so your Sims can spend a lot of time on the outside. But on the other hand, there is no proper garden area, I guess you could say. There is the section in the front, but all around there is just a lake and trees and all that, which makes this build very dreamy and beautiful. But there is no traditional garden and no pool. I mean, technically the lake is of course a pool, so you could simply use that as some type of pool if you wanted to, but I thought that this just looks super cool and so much better than just having a traditional garden. And here I added more rocks at the edge. I'm simply sizing them up, and here I'm adding the pool underneath the patio. I kind of want to make this look like some kind of dock or something, and I really wanted the house to merge with the lake a little bit. I wanted this to look as realistic as possible, which is why I had to use so many rocks just to hide the edges, because if you are not using any rocks at the edges of the pool, it's just going to look like a pool, and that's it. And here I'm just extending the whole lake, and then I decided to add another bridge, because I decided to have a lake that really goes fully around the whole lot. So I of course needed some type of bridge so the Sims could cross the river or lake, whatever. And I'm using the same method that I used for the first bridge here, and I made sure that they are identical and that they have the same height. And this one doesn't look as big as the main one. I really wanted the bridge in the center, the big one, to be the eye catcher a little bit, and these are really just small bridges so your Sims can go over there. And I just attached the little curved path that I built using the train paint tool to the bridge, and here I'm adding some water underneath, and I really enjoy this color for the water. It came with the Jungle Adventure pack, and there's also a completely green one, which probably looks a little bit more realistic, because when you're thinking of lakes in real life, they mostly have this very dark green color, but this one just looks so dreamy. It's the perfect color for a lake or river, for any type of natural looking water, and it's just perfect for a dreamy build. And here I'm adding some trees. I just sized them up. This tree is usually quite small, but I wanted to have some kind of variation going on. At first I wasn't sure which tree I would like to use, and these plants are part of the Romantic Garden Stuff pack. I also used these for my poppy fields build in red, of course. I forgot what type of flower these are actually supposed to be, but for poppy fields I just used them as poppies. And here I'm adding some shelves underneath the window, so it looks like some type of windowsill, and just to have some kind of contrast going on, because the whole build is very cool tone. There is a lot of white and the light blue, so I kind of wanted to have some contrast. I wanted to add some warmth, which is also why I used some very dark brown wall color for parts of the build. And these are part of the jungle pack, these flowers. I think I just added more and more detail, and then I started to furnish the house. These are wallflowers, also part of Jungle Adventure. These are just perfect for any type of build like this. I use these a lot. I generally use a lot of stuff with the jungle pack, I guess, and I think I have never really built a proper jungle build. In my last build, I think it was, I said that Get Famous is definitely worth it in my opinion, even if you're not planning to build some type of celebrity mansion, because any pack just has so much new stuff that you can use for any type of build. I mean, when you think about how often I use stuff that is part of the jungle pack and nothing really looks like a jungle build, it just you can really use all types of stuff for different builds. Here I'm just adding some lamps and benches, just some details. And here I'm starting to work on the kitchen. The interior is surprisingly modern. I say surprisingly modern because for a build like this, I usually also like to keep the interior a little bit more rustic and not too modern. But this time I just felt like building something modern, and because this part of the house is diagonal, I kind of struggled to place the counters a little bit. They just didn't snap, and I just had to place them manually, holding down Alt, so it all made kind of sense. And this kitchen is part of the cool kitchen stuff pack, I think. And this new decoration that I placed in the center of the counter is part of Get Famous. And I just tried to make it look modern, but not too modern. I kind of used these tiles on the wall to make it look, I don't know, a little bit rustic, but still modern, if that makes sense. I didn't want to go the completely minimalistic route for this build. And the floor is part of Cats and Dogs, one of the most beautiful wood floors in this game. And I just kept it very black and white when it comes to color. I think that this just looks so cool. I really like this contrast, but I also added a little bit of color, a little bit of blue, as you are going to see. And I decided to just place the dining room right in front of the kitchen. It almost looks like a hallway, but I thought that this place is just so perfect for a table of this size. There's a room right next to the dining room section, and after building this I thought for a second, okay, maybe this room would be cool, but then I thought no, I'm just going to use it as some type of second living room or a seating room, whatever. And here I'm starting to work on the actual living room. I built 2 chimneys on the outside, as you saw earlier, and when I'm doing that, I'm always making sure to place the fireplace on the inside right at the chimney. You don't have to do that. I mean, you could also just build some type of chimney like this, just so it looks nice on the outside, but I usually like to keep it realistic, so I place the fireplace right there. And this is the mint blue, I think it is, that I mentioned earlier. I still used a lot of black, so instead of having a contrast between black and white, I here used more of the blue in combination with the black. I mean, there's still some white, but not as much. I really love these sofas. These are also part of Get Famous. For Get Famous, they kind of have 2 sets of furniture. One is more on the modern or mid-century side, and the other objects are more for a typical Beverly Hills type of mansions. And these are the 2 kids' rooms. This house has 4 bedrooms, 2 kids' rooms and 2 bedrooms, and both bedrooms for the adults are ensuites, so both have a bathroom, but there's also one at the bottom, so there's plenty of space for a quite big sim family, I would say. So this is it, guys. This speed build is slowly coming to an end. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and also make sure to check out my tutorials. I'm going to link them down below. I hope that you have a great week and that you had a good time watching this video. As always, I'm going to include all the information down below in the description box, so you can download this lot on the gallery, and it's fully furnished. I just cut out some parts of the furnishing process. I love to do that, just some hallways and bathrooms and stuff, just to keep the video a little bit shorter and to keep it interesting, because I think watching me furnish hallways isn't the most exciting thing always. I mean, it depends on the build, but what I'm trying to say is the build is fully furnished, of course. And I also included some screenshots at the end of this video, so you can take a look at all the rooms. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, as I said, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.